Hey, what's up, viewers? Patrick from Bob vs. Only back with another YouTube video, and this is episode number 5 of God's Will Week on Bob vs. the Day. And today's verse comes out of Micah 6, verse 8, and it reads, "He has shown you, O mortal, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you? To act justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God." And that is what that verse means. And let's just get straight into our word and just recap. We were in Micah 4. Rob just went over what we read last Wednesday night, and just a little recap for those who missed it, or for those who didn't. Actually, just for those who are wondering, the Bible study, we are basically interpreting Micah. Micah 4, starting in verse 1, it says, "In the last days, the mountains of the Lord's temple will be established. As the highest of the mountains, it will be exalted above the hills, and peoples will stream to it." Verse 2, "Many nations will come and say, 'Come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the temple of the God of Jacob. He will teach us his ways, so that we may walk in his paths. The law will go out from Zion, the word of the Lord from Jerusalem." Alright, verse 3. "He will judge between many peoples, and will settle disputes for strong nations far and wide. They will beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nations will not take up sword against nation, nor will they train for war anymore." Skipping. Verse 4, "Everyone will sit under their own vine and under their own fig tree, and no one will make them afraid, for the Lord Almighty has spoken. All the nations may walk in the name of their gods, but we will walk in the name of the Lord our God forever and ever." And, verse 6. "As for you, watchers of the watchtower of the flock, stronghold of daughter Zion, the former dominion will be restored to you. Kingship will come to daughter Jerusalem." And there we go. Acts. We're going to go to Acts. Alright. Here in Acts, we are going to go to Acts. Let's start in chapter 1. Alright. Actually, I don't even remember the verse. Acts chapter 1, verse 5. I can't really remember it. Okay. Anyways. Or wait, 1:6. Oh yeah, it is. So in Acts 1, verse 6, it says, "Then they gathered around him and asked him, 'Lord, are you at this time going to restore the kingdom to Israel?'" And then we're going to stay in Acts just a little bit, and we're going to go to chapter 15 and verses 13 through 18. And alright, here we go. Starting in verse 13, and here is what it says. And it reads, "When they finished, James spoke up. 'Brothers,' he said, 'listen to me. Simon has described to us how God first intervened to choose a people for his name from the Gentiles. The word of the prophets are in agreement with this, as it is written, "After this I will return and rebuild David's fallen tent. Its ruins I will rebuild, and I will restore it." Verse 16. Actually, that was verse 16. Verse 17. "That the rest of mankind may seek the Lord, even all the Gentiles who bear my name, says the Lord who does these things." It was an extra. I actually wrote down. Verse 18 says, "Things known from long ago." And just a couple extra verses. Let's see. In Matthew, let me find it. Both of these are from Matthew, and these were just extra verses that Rob threw in last night. Matthew 5, these are the Beatitudes. One of the things that he mentioned last night was, blessed are the peacemakers. Matthew 5, verse 9, which says, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God." And finally, Matthew 6, in verse, let me see here. I am not sure where it's at. It's somewhere in Matthew. I don't even remember. Anyways, in Matthew, there's a verse that says, so God says, or no, not God, he's not writing this. Jesus says, love your neighbors and hate your enemies. But then the next verse he says, love your neighbors and pray for those who persecute you. I don't even know where that was at in Matthew, but that was in Matthew. And that's all for the verse portion. And just a couple notes last night. In the one of the verses of Micah, when he's talking about the daughter of Zion, he's actually talking about the temple. Also, verse 18 of I don't remember. Oh yeah, Acts. In Acts chapter 15, what was interesting was it was talking about the Lord's work. And then of course what I just said, it said in Matthew, which said love your neighbors and hate your enemies, but then love your neighbors and pray for those who persecute you. And finally, and the final note from Matthew 5, I believe 5:9, blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. And the verse to leave you with today, here it is. In 1 John 4:7 it says, dear friend, let us love one another, for love comes from God. Everyone who loves has been born of God and knows God. And the verse and actually, that's going to do it for the video. Thanks for watching. Until next time we meet again, viewers, in every way, God's way is always the best way.